What is your biggest, craziest manifesting success story? Today, I'm going to share with you guys my own personal favorite manifestation success story. And it is a little bit of an old one, but it is a good one. And it is all about how I manifested my dream home. So if you want to find out all the details and get the scoop on this manifesting formula, be sure to keep watching. What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I am a life coach and law of attraction teacher, and you have found my YouTube channel where I upload 2 new videos for you guys each and every week, all about the art of creating your best life ever. So go ahead, smash that subscribe button if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on anything. I've got tons of great content lined up for you guys. I'd really love to have you around. Okay. So this manifestation story that I'm about to tell you, it is from a while back now. It is from well before I moved to Berlin, but I wanted to share it with you guys because it is still hands down my biggest, craziest manifesting success story. And this is the story about how I manifested my dream apartment. So I'm gonna tell the story and then I'm gonna give you guys some pointers at the end about how you can do this yourself. But this was a period of time in my life when I had, if you know my backstory, the way I kind of embarked on my spiritual journey is I was once married. My marriage kind of blew up over the course of one weekend. So I went from having a business with my husband, having this beautiful loft apartment, to having none of that over the course of like one day. So it took me a little while to like figure out finding myself, finding my purpose, coming back to my true identity, which had been honestly long vanished. So this part of the story came after that, like about a year after that. I had been renting for a while. I wanted to buy an apartment. I wanted to feel secure. I wanted to kind of go back to that feeling because I'd owned apartments with my ex. So this is where the story picks up. And Vancouver is a very crazy real estate market, and I'm sure it's even crazier now, but back at the time that I was looking to buy within a certain price range in a certain neighborhood. And I was really clear on what I wanted, but what I wanted didn't seem to exist. It just seemed like everything I wanted was way too expensive and I couldn't get in, or, you know, there was, you know, sell out really fast, or, you know, basically it was like a unicorn. I was looking for the unicorn apartment. But I kept looking every weekend. I kept going out with my realtor every weekend. And eventually this one place, you guys, and I must have looked at like 50 places. Like, I'm not kidding. I went to open houses like every weekend, like 5 to 6 every week. Like I looked for a long time, and the only place that met my criteria was the one place that I ended up buying. And that may not sound that crazy, but like it was just one of those moments. And I'll get into that. I'm gonna go through the tips first, and then I'll get into the reason why I knew it was mine, even though it sounds like, of course it should have been mine. It was always mine. It was meant to be mine. But this story just really was one of the first times I was playing with manifesting with something like really big. And the first time that I was like, holy shit, like this really works. And I'll tell you the super secret story of why I knew it worked at the end of this video. So I'm gonna get into the tips first. So the first tip I wanna give you guys, if you're looking to manifest something, and you've probably heard some of these tips from me before, but we're gonna do them anyways. But the first tip is to be very specific about what you want. So I had the list, right? I had a list of the neighborhood, the price range, the square footage. I wanted a balcony. I wanted, you know, this, I wanted that, and blah, 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 blah. I had my whole list. I had thought out the whole entire vision, and I had it first on a piece of paper, but then I also transferred it to a notes pad in my phone. And I looked at it every day. I kept coming back to it every day, and I kept knowing in my heart that this is what I wanted. So that is my first tip for you guys, is to get really, really, really specific about what you want, because that makes everything else so much easier. Because for one thing, it tells you when something you don't want comes along, you know it's not what you want because it's not the thing, right? So I highly recommend doing the list about whatever it is you are trying to manifest. The second tip is to not settle. So I just kind of touched on this, but the reason why it's so important to have a list, especially if you're doing like a big real estate hunt like I was, is because it is so tempting sometimes to get off track. It is so tempting. There are so many shiny objects out there. There are so many offers. And like, you know, in realtors, like everything is a fucking great deal, right? Like they want to sell you this. It's fantastic. It's the last one of its kind, blah, 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 blah. When you're in the real estate game, it can be really hard to stick to your guns, but I stuck to my guns. There were a few other things I wanted to make offers on. Ultimately, none of them were as good as the place I ended up getting. So my list just kept me on track. So that is another reason why the list is important, because the list will allow you to come back to what you actually wanted. And when you remember what you actually wanted, that means you can say no to everything else. What this just really means is you do not have to settle. You are not settling for a second best. You are not settling for shiny objects. You are not settling for whatever is coming across your way. You are holding space for the thing you want because you have faith that it is going to appear. So that is tip number 2. Tip number 3 for manifesting my dream flat was putting in the work. So even though I was manifesting, even though I had a list, even though, you know, I was working on this spiritual inside adjustment to get my mindset on track, I was still putting in the work. And for me, putting in the work was researching flats every single day, putting in the work, printing out flyers, taking stuff to my realtor, you know, putting myself out there and being willing to look at things, even though I knew they probably weren't right, but putting in the time and effort. I really think that this just showed the universe how serious I was about this plan. I was showing up. I knew what I wanted. I was putting in the time. Nothing was going to stop me. That is so important, and that is so key to your manifesting success. So whatever it is that you guys are trying to manifest, I just want you to think about that. Sometimes we get stuck on this idea that we can just make a wish and just forget about it and it will come. And you know, sometimes that happens, but I honestly believe putting your energetic money where your mouth is so key. And what that means is just showing up and doing the work and not just expecting things to land in your lap. Apartments just don't fall out of the sky, you guys. So you got to put in the work, you've got to put in the effort, and you've still got to go forward with faith. So when you are doing your best in the earthly realm, that is when the universe will start lining up things in the back of there. So you got to make sure that you do your part and put in the actual physical effort. So those are my 3 tips that will really help you guys manifest whatever it is you are working on in your life. And I want to come back to the story now and just tell you the crazy coincidence part. So I was the first person to look at this flat. It had, I think, barely gotten on the market. I was like in the door right away. And I knew it was what I wanted when I walked in. Like, I'm like, this is it. This is so perfect. But, you know, it's a big choice to spend money on an apartment. It's a big choice to do that by yourself. Like, it's kind of a scary thing. So I will never forget this. I was in the car with my realtor and we were leaving the viewing. And I had the like sheet with all the real estate information on it in front of me in the car. And I looked at it and I looked at the address and the suite number. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. I just knew it, because at that time in my life, and still now to this day, I have the repeating numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4. They come up for me all the time. I see them everywhere, from license plates to, you know, numbers on your bank statement to like everywhere. I just see these number sequence everywhere. So the ascending numbers are really important to me. They're already a recurring theme in my life. And the address, it wasn't exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, but it had some variation and the numbers were ascending. And I was just like, okay, got it, it's mine. So I made an offer and got it. And yeah, and I was really, really happy for about 1.5 years. And then I decided to move to Europe. So I knew I was like, that was all meant to be. I have no regrets, but I just wanted to share this story with you guys. I'm not living in my dream apartment anymore. I moved to Europe. I live here, not in a fancy place, but I still love this story. It is still such an integral part of my journey. And I have talked about this before on my blog, but I never did a video about it. So I hope that sharing this story with you guys today can really inspire you to think about what's possible. You don't have to save manifesting for winning the lottery. What you can use this on stuff that you are doing in your life anyways. And in fact, I think that's the best way to do it. So I hope this video inspires you to take your manifesting powers and create some real magic in whatever it is that you are needing in your life right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to hear more from me, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to learn more about me, come on over to the site. I have a free fear breakthrough workbook for you guys to download that will really help you guys get unblocked about whatever it is that is holding you back in your life right now. Thank you again for being here. I'll be back here again soon. So until then, I'm wishing you an amazing week. And just remember, get ready for the miracle. Namaste, you guys.